Hello, my darlings. Welcome back. This is the Feminine Inquisition. My name is Tiffany. We're doing the reveal. Continuing on, today is the number 13. We're going through the Cosmic Womb Tarot. This is the back of the deck. See that vulva? Gestation is possible when we unite and harmonize the divine feminine and masculine, right? And that is how we are going to be able to manifest in this world. That is how our spirit is going to come through in completion and navigate all the energy that shows up. And that's all the tarot is about, okay? So the Cosmic Womb is our extra card in the deck. It's also number 42, which reduces to 6. So all of the 6s in the deck will have their say-so, including the devil. The deck is charged with the external harmony and powers of the 6, okay? So in this reading, we're going to go through the death, a little bit about what it means for me, and then the illustrations using some other decks, some of which you may know, some of which you don't know. I have been explaining these individual cards and talking to you about the constellation that they exist in. Every single energy of every card could stand alone, could be in the succession of the order as they were created, as the numbers go, but also they play with other energies in the deck. And some of them are initiatory, some of them are co-activators, some of them are catalysts, some of them are challenges. Everything has its place, but some illustrators have created thread that ties certain cards together that you may not have expected or didn't notice. So I'm going to show you some of that today. This is our death card. Again, this will be digitized. This is not the size of the deck. This is not the size of the card. Colors are enhanced borders, numbers, and astrological glyphs. This is a cosmic deck. So this is a Plutonian card. Death is a Pluto and Scorpio card. Now, Pluto is not really a planet. It's on the Kuiper Belt, and it is just, I think, a comet captured in time. But astrology still has it, okay, as the ruler of Scorpio. Mars used to be the ruler of Scorpio. So you can have that here as well if you like to stick to tradition. What I want to be clear about for you, a few things. This energy is to be revered, okay? This energy is to be respected. It is an ending and a beginning. This is holding rejection and protection in one. It connects you to the natural order of living things. So we surrender to the small deaths every single day from our choices, our thoughts, our needs, but also the inevitable mortality of our lifetime. So if you respect anything about being incarnate, you must bear witness to the changing of things, right? And part of that is letting go of that which is already gone. So Scorpio's greatest lesson is to let go. It's really hard for them. That's why this card is associated with them. In addition to that, I want to add, and say this as a caveat for why it might be hard for them, okay? So life is beautiful. Yes, this card will say life is beautiful because of the meaning that we have attributed to it, the significance that we have given people, events, places, anything really. The smell of pineapple, okay? But we attributed that meaning with the full awareness that it was all temporary and subject to change. And there's symbolic deaths as well that are asked of us as we continue to evolve with this spirit in this meat machine of a body. And transformation does not ask for permission when it shows up. It doesn't call. No, it's a pop-up. It does not call and say, hey, do you think that I can show up at around 3 p.m.? No, it is a brand new, big, bold lesson that asks for you to shift. Something must go. It's already killing you. And that leaves room and space to invite something new, something different. So you could choose not to participate. That's fair. That's true. Your life is your free will. But if you do participate in the transformation process of harnessing this death energy, you will find that you come closer and closer to your soul's purpose, vision, what it means to really be embodied in this life. Come into the state of flow, letting go of the obstacles, the barriers, everything that is standing in your way, the dead tissue, the dead cells, right? Death of an idea is taking out any limits that your mind has created as a construct, the parameters with which you can expand. Right. So zooming in on some of the details that you can see, I want to make sure that you know, without death, there is just an unending repetition of lessons not learned, truths that are refused, and a world that you reject. So a life that does not process death energy is neither dead nor alive, okay? Now, that is my ideas on the energy to harness when the death card shows up. Now, it could show up in a reading. It could show up popping out of the deck. It could show up on a regular basis. It could also show up without the cards, right? Like someone can die. You could be faced with another friend losing someone else. When we lose people, we face our own mortality. We recognize the brevity of the time that we have here. It brings in a rush of shame, regret, inspiration. We feel the need to deeply connect to these small moments and hold people that we love and that bring us joy closer. So here's the death card as it relates to the Tower of the Oppositions. One thing you will notice, as in our drawing, the sun is rising. What is sun? Consciousness. Skull. What remains when the skin sheds away or is eaten, depending what you do, what your choices are. So is this death arriving to that which is already decayed? Or is this death releasing? It's totally up to you, okay? So we're going to go through the Circle of Life Tarot. I like their death a lot. It's a woman. So as we can see, she is holding 2 babies. And this shows us that on the other side of death is life. And the serpent protects this cycle, and it's guided by the moon. The reason why I use the Circle of Life Tarot is because the moon inspires all of these cards, okay? So we'll start there. This is the moon. How super beautiful. She rises above, she holds earth. She basks in moonlight. The Hermit in the Circle of Life also is guided by the moon. Now, as you can see, these are separate crescents. I don't think this is a mistake. Now, last, the Harmony, because it's 1 and 3, the 13th card. It's 1 being you facing harmony. How to maintain homeostasis? It's through killing off that which is trying to kill you or already dead, okay? And that is on a micro and a macro. So this is, again, crescent. And this is a person, maybe human, maybe not, blowing bubbles, playing with the fish. The imagery is not so important. Yes, it's water. Yes, it's the 3, which is the harmony, right? Where the universe meets you when you finally decide to be the authority on your life. When you decide to be done with something. Let's say, I'm done with, I don't know, fast food. I'm done with smoking. I'm done with not going to the gym. I'm done with not writing. I'm done with not exercising, etc. Whatever changes that you'd like to make. When you become the authority and you take a stand and you use death energy so that you can be creative, make room for what it is that you do want, the 3 of Cups meets you there, okay? Right. Moving on to the in-between tarot because, you know, they do it well. We start their beautiful death card. And as you can see, they've made an angel from the clouds. And that will be what ties the thread that the illustrators have tied all the other cards to this death orbit, this death constellation, as seen by the in-between tarot. There's a phoenix that's rising up because it's ending and new beginning, right? Okay. So now, in this order, this is the Knight of Swords. This is a transference of knowledge. So knowing something is great, but it's halfway. Once you know something, the sun rises, as we've seen in the death card, action must be taken. So what are you going to do with that information? You're going to make right that which you want to see right in the world. That's the Knight of Swords. And you're not going to be, hi honey, you're not going to be slow about it. You don't need a big plan. You know exactly what it is. You're powered by your insight. You're powered by your integrity. As you can see, the clouds of Mustang in the background. Okay, moving on. You want to say hi? Come here. Yeah. Say hi. Don't be so shy. That's Chaska, the littlest squeaker. So Chaska is appropriate for the death card. Chaska is an Incan goddess that is associated with Venus. And she is the protector of love, but also she's the goddess of dawn and twilight. So she protects the light and the dark in equal parts. And we love this. I don't know if you saw, she has the starburst away. Okay, so let's keep on going. In the in-between tarot, we can see in the Two of Cups, this is bringing other people in. So in order to make space in your life for other people, if you connect into a love union, if you consciously want to relate to another, they will awaken things in you. They will show you what you haven't seen up until now. They will help you break your patterns because they will show them to you. This is really important because it requires you to put effort in to be the best you for you, but also because someone else who is putting in their best them for you has shown it to you. This is really challenging. There's a lot of death energy when involved in a conscious union. Because love is not just the most amazing feelings. It's also being seen. And so it requires a huge sense of vulnerability. And it's not that we want to die in love. It's that when and if you're not used to being seen, the feelings of being vulnerable will make you feel like you want to die. Your ego, who is attached to the identity that someone else is saying, I don't know, hurts them, reacts poorly to them, doesn't bring them into decisions, doesn't communicate well, whatever it is between you and the dynamic of someone that you love. Any union that requires reciprocity does not have to just be romance. But when your identity is attached to being that way and they're asking for a shift, death energy is required. You have to see and say and speak and think about what the priorities are for you. Remember, it's the 13th card. 1 is you, 3 is harmony. What will you move out of the way to maintain homeostasis? Moving on. The Knight of Cups. Now in this deck, you can see the card has clouds, and clouds have been made into birds and then back into clouds again. Don't ask me, I didn't make it. What I know is the meaning of the Knight of Cups universally, globally, but I know according to this deck, what they have suggested is that this is settling down, choosing one, staying committed with an open heart, feeling like there is something worth investing in. And maybe this goes in a, a reverse order. but you constantly have to bring the Knight of Cups into the Two of Cups, right? So there's a back and forth and interplay between these. And I've already explained why you would need death energy to be able to remain open and settle down. There are choices that require you to stay focused and committed, and that means that you kill off the other aspects. You see how this woman is pregnant? Oh boy, death energy in creating life. If you're going to become a mother, there is a piece of you that is no longer. The woman that you were previously, she's still there, part of your personality, but you are changed. The transformation is real. Here we see that death comes into the new beginning. Okay, moving on. The next, 8 of Coins. And this is about choices. Because if you're going to put in the hard work, for example, this is the suffragette. This is about the women's right to vote in this particular deck. But let's say it's anything that you're really putting up a protest for. You are ending what was the normal way, the status quo. You're calling an end to it for progress. Now, last but not least, and probably the best, here, from the cloud comes a hand. This is the 10 of Wands, but this is the in-between tarot. So this is creation energy. And that's what death really is. Okay. So that is the in-between tarot, the Tower of Oppositions, the Circle of Life tarot, and the Cosmic Womb tarot. Available for pre-order and shipping in October. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. This is the cover once more. The most beautiful, the mesmerizing Cosmic Womb. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Ciao.